Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Gary Thomas, who is the general manager of the Moxy here in New York, the Moxy Times Square, and we're going to learn a lot about this new hotel in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Gary, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the concept of the Moxy. There are a few hotels that are Moxy out there, but this is the first one here in Manhattan. And what exactly is the Moxy?
James, hi. It's a newest brand for Marriott, and lucky enough, this is the flagship of the Moxy brand. Originated in Europe. IKEA brought forward the idea, had a modular design concept for a hotel, needed to distribute it through a larger hotel chain. Marriott came on board, and so here we are. We have currently two existing Moxys in North America, Tempe, and one in New Orleans, and this is the third, and as I alluded to, flagship for the Moxy brand. So, you know, sort of a sort of lifestyle and select service hybrid, I think is a way to describe it.
Now let's talk about the accommodations. How many rooms do you have? And talk a little bit and I actually was lucky enough to stay in one of them, and it is a really interesting room. So how many rooms are there?
We have 612 keys,
right,
spread over 9 different room types. Interesting room that we have is called our crash pad, which is the smallest room in the hotel. And we decided to sell that on the rooftop, on the dessert menu, which is available late night.
A brilliant concept, I got to say, when you've gotten to the end of the bar in the evening and you probably don't want to go home, right?
Correct. That's the idea. So instead of driving or Ubering somewhere, you'll come downstairs and we'll put you in a crash pad.
And the fact that it's on the menu, I love. But
yeah, we are. And then so we have rooms ranging from a full room, which is a double bed. We have what we call a quad bunk, which is two bunks in the room. We have a room that has a queen bed with a loft, which is great for families. We have your standard queen room, king, corner king, and then we have a complement of suites too that we have on the higher floors.
And the interesting part is, you mentioned the relationship with IKEA, is that there is furniture and there isn't furniture because it's actually hanging from the hooks on the side, right?
That's right. So one of the sort of unique features of Moxy as a brand, as relates to the hotel product, is that there is no closet. And so the idea is that we encourage guests to hang their items, and including the furniture. So the room has a multitude of pegs. We call it a peg wall. And we have designed with Jelber Pushelberg some very cool, unique furniture that you take off the wall, you use as a luggage rack, you use as a chair, we have a table. And depending on the room that you're in, this allows you to free up the space, floor space in the room, and it's really very, very functional. And super cool.
Yeah, and the only chair in the room really is sort of a beanbag chair, right?
Yeah, there's a beanbag, and then
the hanging chairs. Yeah.
And then we have some hanging chairs. And look, I mean, I think that the space that we have to use is on the cozy side, and so with that in mind, how best to utilize the space was key in our design. And there are a couple of functional elements too that I think stand out here. We took an opportunity to focus on a great shower, which we feel is super important.
I know, it's a huge shower. It really is amazing for the size room.
Yeah, big rain head shower, lots of power. And then we have just, had a look at the room in itself. And what else is important is the technology. So we have, furiously fast Wi-Fi, free to guest, and then we have an amazing bed. We took a lot of time figuring out what mattress to use.
I mean, in the end, what do you really need but an amazing bed and a big TV, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And a big shower, yeah.
And a big shower, good strong shower, yeah.
Now, let's talk more about the public spaces, because obviously if you have a small room, you have to have public spaces that are inviting, and I think you've succeeded here. We're actually up on the second floor in one of the sort of meeting rooms off the bar. Talk a little bit about the public spaces here.
So the idea for within the brand, and particularly this hotel, which is the largest Moxy that exists currently, is that we wanted to be able to add value to the experience, right? So a cozy room, but now we have 5 restaurants and bars. We have about 22,000 square foot of food and beverage space. As you alluded to, we're on the second floor here. We have Bar Moxy. Bar Moxy is that sort of lobby bar experience, if you like. We also have...
With the DJ?
With the DJ every night, from 6 to 11. A very social space. Lots of plug and play options, and What's interesting about the Moxy bar is that depending on what time you sort of are in the space during the day, early evening, it really changes its character, right? So it starts as somewhere we were hoping that New York will come and sit and sort of have a coffee and work out, and then
I've done that already. So you got me already. I've already said, like, this is a great place to just set up your office, and boy, plugs in Manhattan, hard to believe. Right?
Exactly right. And look, and the approach for us too is that it's very casual, meaning, put your foot up on the desk if you wanted to, right? Lounge in the chair. Take your shoes off if you want to. We
play foosball, which you have to.
Play foosball, play chess, whatever you need to. Exactly. So we also have what we call a pickup, because we don't have in-room dining option as an option. We have a pickup where our chef produces a sort of wide variety and range of different food items, and you go and help yourself, and you can heat them up, you can take them up to your room, you can have a salad in the lounge, so pretty flexible space. We also have a seafood restaurant.
Well, that was what I was going to ask you about, the dining establishments. You have one already here, and actually you can eat at the bar, which is interesting. You have some interesting fare there. But then you have this new seafood restaurant, right?
We do. So Legasea opened for us on the second floor. It's a seafood restaurant where, again, we don't take ourselves too seriously. That's a very democratic price point. Features a great fish and chips, but then we also have an amazing seafood tower. So,
and some very good mixed drinks, by the way.
And some very good mixed drinks. You can dine at the bar, and then we also serve Legacy items at the Moxy bar. So should you wish to have a meal at the bar and not sit in the restaurant, you can do that too.
And then it's not quite open yet, but it may be when this video comes out, you're going to have another space too downstairs, right on the corner of 36th and Broadway, right? Sorry, 36th and 7th, I should say.
Exactly.
Right.
So we, again, took an opportunity to have a little fun. You see, the Moxy brand is very irreverent, and so we don't take ourselves seriously. So we came up with a fast casual concept called Egghead, and this is a sort of an array of 8 egg sandwiches. But we took a lot of time and effort and placed a lot of thought into designing these egg sandwiches, and this will be somewhere that we probably open 24 hours a day. And our intention is that as you exit our amazing rooftop, that you can get an egg sandwich on the way home at 3 in the morning.
Very hearty fare after a night of partying, right?
Exactly right.
And you just alluded to it. You have this huge rooftop bar that I believe is called
It's called Magic Hour. It's the largest covered rooftop in New York City from a hotel perspective. It has a separate entrance with an express elevator. It's an exciting space, almost the jewel of the hotel to a certain degree. It's, I suppose you could call it an amusement park for adults. And so we have mini golf, 4 holes of mini golf. We have a champagne bar. We have a carousel that you can sit on, and then
every rooftop bar should have a carousel. I don't know why they wouldn't actually.
And so what works for us is that the carousel actually gives you 360-degree views of the Empire State Building too, which is an amazing feature for us on the roof.
Now, who is this hotel for? What is your sort of guest profile?
James, great question. Look, if looking in from the outside, I think the assumption is that it's a brand for millennials. I consider myself a millennial. Might not be the right age for a millennial, but I think it's more of a psycho.
My attitude is exactly. I feel like a millennial all the time, and the heck with this, And I know you're probably one of those Gen Xers that nobody cares about, and I'm a baby boomer early, but we can be millennials, right?
Absolutely, and we should do. And I think, look, the brand is, again, very irreverent. We don't take ourselves seriously. I think we are able to attract and accommodate all sorts of different people. Sure, there are a lot of sort of millennial branded aspects, but in the end of the day, this is a hotel that serves its purpose for children. It's a great place. We have room types that make sense. I think if you're in New York City and you need somewhere to have a coffee and work, this is your place for you too. And I think we work with Marriott as a franchisee, and so we are experiencing a lot of Marriott-driven business, which are not only millennials, as you would imagine.
No, I would think in general they're probably not. But this is definitely a Marriott for millennials, if you will, and more, much more. Well, Gary, thank you very much for filling us in on the brand new Moxy. It's a great new place in Midtown Manhattan. Actually, I said 36th and Broadway. No, 36th and 7th Avenue with the moniker Times Square. And it is only a few blocks away. It's really a incredible concept, and good luck with the future with this Moxy Hotel.
James, thank you very much.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.